How did we do it? How did our ancestors, scattered across the globe in small, wandering groups, manage to build the very first cities? Imagine a world without a single permanent town, a world where survival depended entirely on the day's hunt or the season's gathering. Then, almost in the blink of an eye, people began to settle. They built homes for generations, the foundations of a new way of living. The transition is a profound mystery. Perhaps climate change made food more reliable, or a single innovator domesticated wild grains. Whatever the trigger, it required immense cooperation planning and a complete rethinking. The earth was about to be reshaped by our hands. Look closely at the ruins of these first settlements. You can almost hear the echoes of their creation. Stones placed one on top of another, mud bricks shaped by hand and baked in the sun. These were community efforts, people choosing to stay. That choice set us on a new evolutionary path. What is it that turns a simple village into a grand civilization? It is not one single thing, but a unique collection of interconnected ideas and structures. Think of it as a blueprint for a new, more complex way of life. The first and perhaps most crucial element is the city itself. A city is more than just a large collection of houses. It is a hub of activity, a place of trade, of governance, and of shared identity. It is where people with different skills, farmers, potters, weavers, leaders, can come together and create something far greater than the sum of their parts. Next on this blueprint is a system to manage the complexities of city life, rules, and government. As populations grew, so did the potential for conflict. Leaders emerged, creating laws and systems of justice to maintain order. Perhaps the most revolutionary invention of all was writing. Before writing, knowledge could only be passed down through memory, from one generation to the next. With agriculture providing a surplus of food, not everyone needed to be a farmer. This freed individuals to specialize. This is when art truly flourished. People created intricate pottery, came together to form the intricate and vibrant tapestry we call civilization. Across our planet, in a few special places blessed with fertile soil and life-giving rivers, this new human experiment began to take shape independently. The earliest, it seems, arose in a sun-scorched land between two rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates. Here, around 4000 BCE, cities like Uruk and Ur grew from the rich mud. The Sumerians who lived here were true pioneers, developing the first known writing, the wheel, the plow. Not long after, another great civilization blossomed along the banks of the Nile River in Egypt. Unlike the fractious city-states of Mesopotamia, Egypt was unified early under a single divine ruler, the pharaoh. This stability allowed the Egyptians to focus their immense resources on monumental building projects, such as the pyramids and the great temples of Karnak and Luxor, creating an awe-inspiring legacy that continues to captivate us. Far to the east, another civilization emerged in the valley of the Indus River, in what is now Pakistan and India. The Indus Valley civilization, with its major cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, was remarkable for its sophisticated urban planning. Its cities were laid out on a precise grid system, with advanced drainage and water supply systems that would not be seen again for centuries. Curiously, while they had a system of writing, we have not yet been able to decipher it. The secrets of their society, their leaders, and their beliefs remain one of archaeology's most tantalizing mysteries. And in the east, along the fertile banks of the Yellow and Yangtze rivers, Chinese civilization began its long and continuous story. Early dynasties like the Shang perfected the art of casting bronze, creating magnificent ritual vessels. These four great river valley civilizations, though separated by vast distances, each discovered the blueprint for complex society, laying the foundations for the modern world in their own unique ways. So, what was it really like to live a day in one of these very first cities, some 5,000 years ago? For the vast majority of people, life was, well, tied to the land and the rhythm of the seasons. Imagine a farmer in Mesopotamia rising before the sun, guiding an ox-drawn plow through heavy soil, hard labor digging irrigation ditches to bring river water to barley fields, always hoping the tax collector wouldn't take too much. His family worked alongside him, his wife grinding grain into flour, his children scaring birds away. In a bustling Egyptian city like Thebes, the air would be thick with the sounds and smells of creation. An artisan, maybe a skilled stonemason, might spend his day carving intricate hieroglyphs onto the wall of a new temple, close up on calloused, precise hands. He would be paid not in money, since, money hadn't even been invented yet, but in rations of bread beer oil. Meanwhile, in a meticulously planned city like Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley, a merchant might be preparing his goods for a long journey. His wares could include fine pottery beads made from semi-precious stones, cotton textiles. He would carefully log his inventory using small carved stone seals, each bearing a unique animal motif, and characters from their undeciphered script. And for the elite, life was, well, very different. A noble in Shang Dynasty China would spend his day overseeing his estates practicing archery. He might consult an oracle, who would heat a turtle shell until it cracked. His evening would be spent at a lavish banquet, drinking from ornate bronze vessels. Though their lives were vastly different, the farmer, the artisan, the merchant, the noble, were all threads in the same complex social fabric, each playing their part in the great theater of civilization. No civilization is really an island. Long before the age of exploration, these ancient societies were connected by a surprising and intricate network of trade and exchange. The desire for rare and exotic goods drove merchants and adventurers across, well, treacherous deserts, vast mountain ranges, open seas. A Sumerian in the city of Ur might covet a necklace made of lapis lazuli, a brilliant blue stone, but you see, this stone could only be found in the distant mountains of what is now Afghanistan. To get it, merchants had to establish long-distance trade routes, a chain of commerce that stretched for thousands of miles. These were not just exchanges of goods, but of ideas. As traders from Mesopotamia traveled to the Indus Valley, they brought more than just wool oil. They brought their stories, their technologies, their customs. Archaeologists have found Indus Valley seals in the ruins of Mesopotamian cities, and Mesopotamian-style cylinder seals in the Indus Valley, clear evidence of direct contact. The invention of the wheel in Mesopotamia, for example, did not stay there for long. The concept, if not the wheel itself, gradually spread, revolutionizing transport and warfare across the ancient world. The Egyptians, too, were active participants in this ancient network. Their ships sailed the Mediterranean and the Red Sea, seeking the fine cedar wood of Lebanon, essential for building their ships and grand temples. This flow of goods and knowledge created a surprisingly interconnected world. This was the first era of globalization, a slow but steady weaving together of the human world. Why did these magnificent first civilizations, which seemed so permanent, eventually fade or transform? There is no single answer. Each faced its own unique set of challenges. In many cases, the very environment that nurtured them eventually turned against them. The intensive agriculture of Mesopotamia over thousands of years led to the buildup of salt in the soil, slowly poisoning the land and reducing crop yields. In the Indus Valley, a shift in the monsoon patterns, a change in the course of the river may have led to drought, undermining the agricultural base of their great cities. Internal strife and political instability were also powerful forces of decline. The constant warfare between the city-states of Mesopotamia weakened them, making them vulnerable to conquest by outside invaders. In Egypt, periods of strong central rule were often followed by times of division and civil war, as rival claimants fought for the throne. The complex social structures that defined these civilizations could also break down. If the people lost faith in their rulers or their gods, the social glue that held society together would begin to dissolve. Invasion by outside groups was another common cause of collapse. Often nomadic peoples who were more mobile and who possessed new military technologies. The introduction of iron weapons, which were cheaper and more effective than bronze, changed the face of warfare forever, giving an advantage to those who could master the new technology. These once mighty civilizations were not invincible. They were complex systems, and like any complex system, they were fragile. Yet they did not simply vanish. Their legacy is all around us, woven into the very fabric of our modern world. The Sumerian invention of dividing time into 60-second minutes and 60-minute hours is how we measure our day. The principles of law and justice first written down in Mesopotamia are the foundation of our legal systems. The alphabet you are reading has its distant roots in the scripts of the ancient Near East. These first civilizations may have crumbled, but their echoes resonate through time, a testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity.